My name is Matt Hodson, and I like to demonstrate cooked vegan and raw vegan recipes. Today I'm going to demonstrate another cheap cooked vegan recipe called Tofu Stuffed Manicotti, which is basically manicotti shells stuffed with tofu emulating ricotta cheese. Obviously, the main ingredient is manicotti shells. You can find these in the pasta section or spaghetti sauce section of most grocery stores. You need spaghetti sauce to cover the shells. A lot of spaghetti sauce in the market is accidentally vegan. It just happens to not contain animal products. I just happened to pick up 100% natural Prego Chunky Garden tomato, onion, and garlic spaghetti sauce, and there's no specific one for this recipe. It's just whatever you prefer. This one looked good to me. You want to watch out with tomato sauce because a lot of tomato sauces have little bits of cheese in them. So you just want to look at the ingredients and make sure there's no dairy or animal products in there, and this one is obviously good. And then another main ingredient is the tofu. This is what I'm going to stuff the shells with. I'm using silken tofu, extra firm silken tofu. There's different types of tofu. There's the kind you see packed in water. That's much more firm and has more of a meaty texture. Silken tofu is much softer. This is the same tofu I use for my tofu scramble because it scrambles and breaks apart really easy. It's not very sturdy or stable, so that's why I'm going to use it to stuff the shells, because it breaks down pretty easy. And then you just need parsley. This is a whole bunch of parsley. I'm going to take this off and just use half of this, half a bunch of parsley. I'm going to just chop the stems off. And then I'm simply just going to chop it. So I got the parsley all chopped up. And now I'm going to open the tofu. Use a pair of scissors. When you open this kind, you just flip the flaps up. It's fun to say. And then you just cut along with the little lines on the flaps. I guess I should show that. And then you just simply open it from the top. There is a little bit of water packed in these, so just get the water out if there is. And then put the tofu in a bowl. I'm just taking a fork and mashing the tofu up very small. So I'm going to go ahead and open this one up too. In the bowl that goes. Alright, so there's 2 packs of silken tofu in the bowl. And again, just mixing it up, smashing it with a fork. Alright, so I got that all smashed up pretty well. And now I'm going to add in the chopped parsley. And I'm just going to mix that together. I should probably use a wooden spoon. Just mix that together. Alright, so that is what you should be left with at this point. And that right there is the filling. So at this point you could add in other stuff like salt and other spices if you want, but this is just a basic demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead and get the shells ready. So I got a shell, the tofu mixture, and just stuffing it in there, going in on one side and just pushing it through with my finger until it comes out on the other side. It's pretty simple. I am stuffing manicotti, stuffing manicotti, stuffing manicotti with tofu. I am stuffing manicotti, manicotti, how about you? Alright. So you can see that one is done. I'm done stuffing the shells, and 2 packs of tofu was enough to stuff 12 shells. There was 14 in a pack, so I got all but 2. I'm going to coat the bottom of the pan with spaghetti sauce because you want the manicotti to be covered on all sides. You don't want any of it to be uncovered, it'll be too hard to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit in the center of the pan. And I'm going to take a rubber spatula and just coat the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to need a little bit more than that. Alright, so just coating the bottom of the pan. So the bottom of the pan is pretty well covered. And I'm simply just going to take the manicotti and line it up in a row. So I got the manicotti lined up in there, and it was enough to fit 7. I still have 5 left, which I can make another batch with those. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to do these 5 on camera. So what I'm going to do now is cover the manicotti with spaghetti sauce. I'm just going to start in the middle. You want it completely covered. You don't want any of it. Since we're not boiling the manicotti first, we're just baking it straight up out of the box. You don't want any of it to be uncovered. You want it all to be covered. So there you go. The manicotti is covered by spaghetti sauce and it is ready to go in the oven. So I'm simply just going to go over there and put it in the oven that's already been preheated at 350. So in that goes. Oh yeah. Alrighty then. That should be done. I'm going to go ahead and say that's done. It feels like it's cooked through, so I'm going to go ahead and say that's good. So here it is. I put 5 on a plate. And just to make the picture look better, I went ahead and put some of the tofu mixture on the end of that side, and I kind of used my fork to move the sauce around on top. So that's what they look like. Here's what they look like without putting the tofu mixture on the front. I went ahead and cut a piece off so I can try it on camera. That is good.